Good morning or good afternoon whenever you're watching. Where are we? What are we up to? Well, lockdown has given us that little bit of a window. We're in May and the time's just come where we're allowed to come out and exercise a little bit more. We're allowed to do a little bit of sports and stuff like that. So photography I didn't think was too bad, taking the tripod and the camera out. I'm at a place called Brown Moss. This is local to me. It's probably, I don't know, within 15 miles to where I live. And I've just literally turned up. Now I was going to get up at R5 and come down here early morning, but I got back in bed and had another hour this morning. I looked out the window and it was just grey, so I thought it wasn't worth coming down. Now I've just turned up and I pulled up into the car park, and I'll spin you around in a minute. But I'm thinking, wow. Last time I was here, which was some time ago to be honest, it's a small nature reserve, a lake about 32 acres near Whitchurch in the UK, and last time I come here there wasn't a lot of water. It was just a patch of water and you could walk round, and it was a nice little path round there, just a nice little walk. Not the best photographically, but a nice little walk anyway. So I thought I'd come down and have a look this morning, and I pulled up in the car park and the water is 30-40 foot away from me. There's a lot of water down here now, so it's definitely Wellington's. I've got the boots in the boat, the boots in the boot. I've just spotted somebody walking over in the distance, so I'm not alone. As if by magic, my battery went dead. Not sure how far I got up to it, but I was just saying there was someone over there walking, so I'm not actually alone. And a car's just pulled up in the car park as well behind me. So I'm not sure. I'm going to keep away from people. It's social distancing for sure. There's some lovely reflections on the water. So yeah, I'm going to get my boots on, get out for a bit of a walk, just have a walk round. And if I don't take any photographs, then I'll try and point out a few photographs on the way round that I think would work on a different day and different conditions. Like I say, it's not the most photogenic place, but I'm hoping there might be some bluebells or something down there in the little bit of woodland and stuff. And I know there's a few odd trees sticking around, which are a little bit on their own. So yeah, great place for wildlife. I can see loads of ducks and birds flying around. So yeah, let's see how we get on. And come on, let's go for a walk. So I'm not taking my full kit out. I brought my full kit here. It's all here, but I'm not going to take that out. What I am going to take with me is I'm going to take the camera. I've brought me little K&F bag for something a little bit lighter and easier to carry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a long lens in here. I've brought my 100-400, which is a recent addition to my kit. If you haven't been watching lately, I've got a 100-400 lens. So I'm going to take that with me. And I'm also going to take the camera with me, obviously, with I think the 16 to 55. I think I'm going to put the 16-55 on. So that's all I'm going to have. No wide angle. 16 should be wide enough for anything here. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do. Take that and that with the polarizer. I think the polarizer is on the front, so I'll take that. I can put that in my pocket if I need to. Lens cleaning cloth. What else do we need? Oh, batteries. We know we need batteries. Can't go anywhere without them, can I? So I think that'll do. I've got a bottle of water, my coffee. That's all I'm going to take with me. I'll tell you what I will do, just for fun. I'm going to throw in my little pack of filters, just in case I want to smooth something out on the water. But the water's really nice behind you. So that'll do for that. I'm not going to take anything else. I don't need to carry any more than I need to. Bit of a strange one for me, really. So yeah. Let's get going. Change of plans. I'm actually going to put my 100-400 on the camera. because I can hear a woodpecker. So it would be nice to be ready to get a shot if I see some wildlife. Not something I do very often, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on the camera, on the tripod. I'm going to carry it around on the tripod, and let's just see what we can get as we're walking around. So one thing to be mindful of at the moment is make sure if you touch anything with your hands, like benches, gates that I've just come through, stuff like that, make sure that you sanitize them and clean them afterwards, because you don't know who's touched anything. So I'm not sure when you're watching this, I'm sure it's still the same restrictions. So be mindful of anything you touch, anything you go near, if you are going to go out, and be socially distant. Like I say, here we are, we're out. It's a beautiful morning, it's calm, it's quiet, just the sounds of the birds and stuff. But see, look at this straight away, that silver birch there with that bird on it would make an absolutely cracking photograph if there was a little bit of mist or maybe some snow. Now I have been here in the snow, and if I can find the photographs from when I was here, I'll put them up for you and show you a couple as a walk around. So I've only been here a couple of times. I've never really explored it, which is a shame because it's right on my doorstep. So yeah, I think I have to come down and actually explore it a bit more and try and make a bit more of it. See, look at that tree there. I think that's even worth taking a photograph of, just as it is, with that muted sky, maybe a black and white. Put it in the gap rather than lining it up with the trees either side. If I was to actually walk this way and just put it in that gap there, I think it might actually make a simple little shot. So might do that afterwards, but not at the moment because I've got the big lens on. So I'm just going to have a look around for the moment, just to see if I can find anything that I can pick out, sort of small. But yeah, it's a nice little location, very nice. So another potential for a photo, the dead tree just there. I think that would make quite a nice shot, that against the green. It looks all right. There's no light on it, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest, but that would make quite a nice shot. I like anything like that, these dead trees, because they just seem to stand out. Even though that's not quite dead, I think it's just been blown over at the top, or maybe even struck by lightning, you don't know. There's a couple more trees just over there, which I've actually shot before in the snow. I remember them. They sort of stood out a little bit on their own. I've literally just scratched the surface at the moment. I've only walked a couple of 100 yards, so I've not been far. I'm actually waiting, to be honest. I'm waiting for Mike to turn up. He's got some more mugs for me, and we're trying to do it social distancing wise. So he's going to drop them off, and I'll give him the money in an envelope, and yeah, we'll just keep our part. But yeah, there's some nice sounds. It's nice. I can hear all the birds. It is so quiet. You can see the ducks and the moorhens on the lake. It's just quite a chill. If I don't take any photographs, it doesn't really matter. It's just chilling out. I'm just looking at that tree in front of us as well, and I'm not sure if there's a picture there. If I do take any as a walk around, they're only snapshots, some sort of ideas. So I may bob them up at the end just to give you an idea of what potential there could be. Say it's no mountainous scenery, it's dead flat, it's an easy walk. But yeah, just enjoying the peace. Mrs. C's at home in bed as well, so she's getting a good night, good morning sleep without my snoring. Yeah, it's peaceful. It's still the same me and it's the same day, but I've now got my grain jacket on and I've changed my hat. I've been back to the car and I've done my dodgy transitions in the car, all safely sanitised and stuff like that. So I thought I'd come back out, excuse me, and have a bit more of a walk round. I've just taken a shot of the tree that I talked about earlier on. I've changed the lens now. I've put the 16 to 55 on, something a bit shorter, and I've literally just come from the car again and I've walked up to these 3 trees, and I just thought a picture of these 3 trees with this soft light coming through at the moment would work quite nicely. And all I've done is I've just set the camera up on f5 just to try and blow out the background a little bit, and I've got 3 trees in the middle, a 2-second timer, and I just love all the texture and the bark on them trees with that soft light coming across them. Really quite a nice little shot, quite simple. So I've actually got 1 shot and I've spotted something else with some potential just in there. There's some silver birch in there, so that's where we're going. We're going to head into that woodland now, and we're going to see if we can find anything inside this bit of a woodland. I'm not going to go mad. I'm going to make my way back home shortly. I just wanted to get out with a camera, to be honest, this morning before too many people get out, because yesterday in the town around where I live there were so many people out. Just listening to the birds again then. Love the sound of the birds. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been here, like I said. So yeah, these little cluster of, I think they're silver birch, are quite nice. So I'm just gonna have a look around here. There's a little bit more, there's another section just through there on the woods there. I'm just gonna have a bit of a walk around this little area. Oh, look at them birds. And see if I can find an image. So bear with me and I'll see if I can find you one for you. What I quite like about woodland, and it's no easy subject, especially on an ordinary day where the sun's now starting to come out and be quite strong. As you can see, it's hitting my face. I like the fact that when you walk around, the way things change, the dimension of the subject, the trees change. There's a tree here in front of me that as you walk past it, it turns from like being 1 into 2, and it branches out into 3 at the top, and it's nice the way you have to move around. You have to look around these things to try and get the best out of each tree or cluster of trees, and it's a very difficult subject. Trees and wildlife like this is no easy thing, but the light coming through it's a nice little light this morning. It's not too powerful, but it is starting to get a bit brighter and a bit harsher. So I'm just exploring, and I hope you don't mind coming with me. And I will come back. I'll bring Denise back down here as well. I think we'll visit this place a little bit more often now that we have to sort of stay a little bit more local. We don't have to, but I think it's as wise to at the moment. And I've just found some bluebells. Not many, but 1 or 2 little bluebells. It'd be quite nice if I could get a single bluebell shot. Maybe put the 400mm back on and try and pick off 1 bluebell, because it would really make the time of year to get a bluebell. So I'm just going to have a little look here, see if I can find 1 particular bluebell that I can pick off and try and get a shot of. So potentially there's not many bluebells here. As you can see by the carpet in front of us, it's very limited. So I'm just trying to pick off a couple handheld. I'm not going too crazy. I might wind my ISO up just a little bit. Might take it up to 400 just to try and get that slightly faster shutter speed. I've got no IS on this lens, but I've got quite a steady hand which can help. So all I'm doing really is just trying to frame these up. I'm going for a narrow ISO, a narrow f-stop of 5, 6, just try and blow out the background, but I still want a little bit of background in it because it's sort of got to tell the story that I'm in the woods. So I'm just picking these 2 bluebells that are in front of me just here. I'm just focusing on them and taking a few snaps, and I think they're sharp enough. In fact, they look fantastic considering I'm handheld. They're not the cleanest and newest of bluebells, but I've got something bluebelly just to say it's May, or you know, we are at the beginning of May. So yeah, if I can find any more, I'll get a bigger cluster. We talk about potential, and I've just spotted a potential right over there. There's another dead tree right over the other side there, and that would make a fantastic little photograph. The dark background with the nice bright shiny deadwood. Any condition probably that would work. I'm going to probably switch. I'm going to try my other lens. I'm going to put the other lens on, and I might take a snapshot of it now just to try it out. And there's another one just through there as well. There's another one just there. So I might just try that, put the long lens on. If anything else, they're just records, and it will remind me where I've seen them. Dead easy. We're literally just off the car, so I can come down here on another condition. I don't think fog and mist. I think what it wants is some snow or some frost or something to make that work, or even maybe the evening light coming along, because I think the evening light's going to come down the water. So there's a potential shot there. I quite like that. So let's get a shot of these 2 trees, and yeah, I'll put them up and show you what it is I'm talking about, and they may even work in black and white as well. Fuji don't make this easy, you know, getting these off. That's one thing about this. It's got a tiny little button in there for trying to get your lens off, and it's really hard to get your fingers in there. Alright, so we've now got the longer lens on, and we're just going to move it. Let's just move you a little bit. We're going to move it onto its plate, because that is definitely a more stable position to be in. We're going to take the I put my finger on the lens because I thought the lens cap was on when it wasn't, so I'm going to have to get my lens cloth out and just give that a bit of a wipe. Now, I've mentioned these lens cloths before, I'm sure I have, but these are bamboo lens cloths. The link to all my gear, or all the links, are in my description and stuff like that, so if you're interested in these are fantastic. They dry really easy and they dry really quick. So take the lock off. Excuse me. We're going to zoom in on this tree, switch the camera on, focus somewhere over in the distance, and then we are going to set up a composition with the tree slightly on the thirds, get the camera nice and level. And I've just noticed in the lens it's wandering a bit. That's because the image stabilizer's on, so we're going to knock that off. Focus back on the tree. We are going to go to f7.1. Hit the shutter button, 2 seconds, click. And just as that clicked, a car drove past in the background, in between the trees, and I could see the reflection on the window. So I'm going to take another one. And it is just a record shot, the light's just catching it now. But I quite like it, I quite like that. It's just a nice, clean, dead tree against a darker background. Quite simple, really. got to turn the camera around to a vertical orientation as well, and I think it's working a lot better. And I put the polarizer on the front. I'm just interested to see what difference it makes, and it pops the greens a little bit, even though potentially I don't particularly want the greens. Now I'm going to try to focus this manually, and I don't think I need to. I think because the autofocus is so good on this that I don't think I need to do anything more than what it is. And it's all in focus, so I'm literally just going to take that shot again. 2-second timer's on. I'm only taking one shot, just an average exposure, just of that tree on its own. And that's quite a nice tree, actually. I quite like that. So I'm going to move around to this one now, have a look at this tree. Start off in vertical, and again, it's just a dead tree with the foliage around it, but I like these sort of things. Potentially they're quite nice. So again, focus on this one, autofocus. I've got to go a little bit wider on that, that's a bit better. I don't really want the sky in, and the sky's just creeping in at the top. So 2-second timer, just check that polarizer. It's making all the background nice and dark. It's a dark background, that's what I want. I just want to be able to see the tree. It's quite simple, really. Quite enjoying this. Peaceful. No rush, no chasing around. Just me, you, my overweight belly, and I might even have a cup of coffee and just listen to these birds. It's fantastic. All around you. So it looks like my pathway's cut off this way. Not unless I can get round through there, but I'm not into getting too deep in the bog. We'll see what happens when I try and walk on it. I don't want to be sinking in the mud if I can help it. Oh, we're doing all right. Squidgy. All right, we're getting through. Okay, I've made it through. Oh, right, I'm going to try and balance my camera a bit now because we're going through a narrow patch and I'm not sure how far around I can go, so I'm going to have to put you down and we'll carry on heading this way. See if I can get back round to the car that way. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this video apart from getting out. You just see me have a bit of a scary moment going across a dodgy little bit of a platform that was moving, and it was quite boggy. I didn't fancy putting my feet in that. That wouldn't have been very nice. So yeah, a bit scary moment that was. My breathing was holding, like, oh please don't sink. It's just been a nice walk. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to head back to the car and go home and see what Mrs. C's doing. Maybe she's got some breakfast on the go. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for staying with me if you did. Hopefully I got a couple of snapshots. Obviously nothing fantastic, but I brought you to another little location which we will come back to. That looks like the road there, so we'll carry on going this way. So yeah, till next time, all I can say is ciao for now. Hopefully next time it'll be better.